All right, we are here at USA MedBed and want to just give a shout out and say hello to everybody. If you've been following the channel, you've been watching me for a while, you know that over the last maybe 15 years, I've done probably about 300 videos on hospital beds and how they work and what they do. And we have been doing this now, honestly, for over 15 years. We have locations in San Diego, California, and I'm here in Richmond, Virginia. And I'm sitting in our showroom where we've got some of the best beds really made on the planet. And these hospital beds are used refurbished beds primarily. Now, we do sell beds brand new, and there's quite a few models that we sell, but most of the time, you're going to get a lot more value if you're buying used refurbished beds. And the bed that I've got right behind me is probably the pinnacle bed. It's probably the best bed really on the planet Earth, and that is the Hillrom Progressa. And the Hillrom Progressa bed is brand new for home use, usually about 80,000. This bed does a lot of different things, but we're going to talk about all beds. We're going to talk about how do you find a hospital bed. We're going to get into a lot of subjects. And in addition to that, we can't quite see it here. Maybe we can, but we also have quite a bit of med bed technology, which are medical beds that get into a whole nother range of stuff that's also part of what we do. But I wanted to do a live because if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I'm usually behind the camera, not in front of it. But the goal today of this video is to give you some basic information about what you need when you're looking for a bed and what some of the best bed models would be for you. So, for anybody who doesn't know, the main two manufacturers for hospital beds in the United States are Stryker and Hillrom. And Stryker and Hillrom are kind of like Coke and Pepsi, Ford and Chevy. They're the two best medical bed manufacturers in the country. And so we go into hospitals and pick up beds when they're switching out with another, either a brand new order or they're picking up and the hospital has switched from Hillrom to Stryker or Stryker to Hillrom. So that's really when you come down to where the beds come from and where do we get the beds. Primarily, we're getting them directly out of hospitals. Right now in our inventory, we've probably got about 500 beds that are in stock. We've been picking them up all over various hospitals, mainly here on the East Coast, because that's where a lot of the beds come out from, and then also Southern California and other different places. So the first question is when you're getting a hospital bed is do you need a foam or an air mattress, right? And so basically what's going to determine that is going to be how much time is the person spending in bed? So if the person's in bed and you're in bed for the majority of the day, 12, 14, 18 hours, and then you're getting up and sitting in a wheelchair, you're probably tending to get into more of an air mattress. And the reason being is that you're really always never giving yourself a break. You're always putting pressure on your tailbone and you're always, having pressure in various parts of that area down kind of along your lower back that are susceptible to getting bed sores. If you're permanently bedridden, it's very easy. And if you're getting in and out of bed and you're still mobile, then definitely a foam mattress is all you need. So every bed that we sell, question is, what is a full electric bed? What is the difference between a full electric bed and a semi-electric bed? And the difference is going to be that a full electric bed is going to have power up and down and power head and power foot, whereas a semi-electric bed is really only going to be power head and foot, and the height of the bed is going to be adjusted normally with a crank. And semi-electric beds really, for the most part, are ideal for somebody that's doing a hip replacement, somebody that's doing a knee replacement, somebody that really doesn't need the bed more than a month or two. That's going to be the best situation for a semi-electric bed, which is normally going to come from insurance and or sometimes you can do rentals. Um, where you'll never see a semi-electric bed here unless I'm using it as a demo to basically say this is what you don't want because aside from that, those beds really don't have a lot of functionality and they're still okay. Like for home use, we have actual residential beds that are not like a hospital bed. They're going to be semi-electric, and that's more for comfort base. It's not really for medical, but for people that really need the power, head and foot. Um, there's like your luxury home care beds that we also do sell, which is in another showroom, would be ideal for that. I'm gonna take the camera and I'm gonna show you like the features on all these beds, but I'm gonna do it here with the Progressive since it's right next to me. And basically, you can see if I can get her to focus here. Come on, man. Just make sure we're clean. So basically, all the beds are going to have these basic features. I'm sorry, the focus there wasn't cooperating. But you're gonna have, now this is the Progressive, so this bed's a little bit different, but you're always gonna have power foot up and down, power head up and down, and power bed up and down. And then this other picture here, which is called Trendelenburg, this is basically where the person can be in an inverted. Now, when you're in this position right here, that's gonna help slide you up on the bed, and it's called Trendelenburg, which is named after the doctor who discovered it and put that feature. Now, not only is it good for sliding you back in bed, but it's for people with swollen feet, gout. It helps circulate, the fluids and things in the body, lymphedema. If you have really big legs, your body's carrying all that. And then up here, this version of Trendelenburg is used a lot for cardiac patients, and those are patients that basically have to be at a 30-degree angle above their feet, need to be above the heart to make it easier for the heart to pump blood. So these are the basic features that every bed has. Now, the thing is, any bed that has Trendelenburg also has a chair position. And so over here with the Progressa, you have a chair position. This chair position with the Progressa, however, is a little bit different because with the Progressive bed, the feet actually physically can touch the floor. And the Progressive bed also has an ability to shrink the foot section in and out. Um, and these are going to be the primary features that every hospital bed we sell will have. It'll always have any bed that has Trendelenburg can do a chair position because a chair position really is just this position here with the head and foot section up. So whether it has a chair button or whether you put in Trendelenburg and then lift the head and lift the foot, that's always going to be a chair position. So for people spending a lot of time in bed, that's a very comfortable feature. The Progressive bed also, which we'll get into since I'm over here and I'll get off the screen and then I can get back onto the Progressive bed also has a feature here, which is kind of unique. One is rotation. Now, there's other beds that do this, but the Progressive is definitely one of them that does. And my cord on my camera, just a little bit. There we go. So basically, what you can do with this one is you can determine how often you want the person turned, and I can go in and say, yeah, I want them turned at a 50-degree, 60-degree angle, and I'm going to have them in the middle for 30 minutes instead of 17 minutes or whatever I want to set it to. And then, I can say, yeah, we want to turn this one a little longer. We usually have the setting short, so when we're doing testing on the beds, we can test them pretty quick and see how everything's working. I'm not going to hit start because it's in a chair position, but I am going to go back and get into P and V, which is percussion vibration. Now, the Progressa, for anybody who has upper respiratory, you've got a percussion vibration feature that basically breaks up the congestion in the lungs. You've got a low, medium, and high setting, and it'll basically help knock the congestion out of the lungs. And you can see here in the showroom, we've got multiple different bed models from different bed manufacturers, and we've got certified technicians, Rom and what have you, that go through all the beds to make sure that when you're getting a bed, you're getting a bed that's checked out, ready to go. So number one, how much time are you spending in bed? Do you need a foam or an air mattress? That's going to be like your main thing right there. And then all the beds that we sell are going to be solid steel frame beds that'll have the features that we just went through. And then you're also then going to have systems where you can start with a foam mattress and add an air mattress later. The progressive bed is not one of those. The air system is actually built into the frame of the bed. So the pump and everything is directly connected into the mattress, connected into the bed frame. And they call them, I mean, technically they can be called smart beds. Normally, smart bed refers to the fact that it has Wi-Fi that'll send a signal down to a nurse's station. But these beds also, the mattress configures with the shape of the bed. So when the bed is moving into various positions, the mattress knows that and the mattress is adjusting. So with the Progressa, as that bed is moving into various different positions, you're going to see different parts of the mattress inflating and deflating. Now there's two versions of a progressa. There's the one that we just showed, which is the pulmonary bed, and pulmonary meaning the lungs. That's basically the bed that's going to help with congestion, and it does nonstop alternate. The term is called lateral rotation. So what lateral rotation basically means is that the mattress half will inflate, half will deflate, and it'll turn the person all night long. So the treatment mattress, which is a blue mattress that goes on the Progressa, is going to have low air loss and just low air loss only. And low air loss for an air mattress is a very important feature. And what that is that they're running air over the surface of the mattress, and that air is basically whisking away moisture to keep the skin dry. So, air mattress systems on a hospital bed are really important. Now, low air loss, it's important to note, low air loss is only as good as the size of the pump and the size of the holes releasing air. So you're going to see that there's a lot of mattresses that have low air loss, but there's a huge difference between hospital grade equipment and home care equipment. And the home care stuff is really not what I like to mess with because I find it to be primarily very cheap and somewhat ineffective. So most of the people I'm already dealing with have already gotten something either from insurance or some type of a provider where it's a home care based product that, and I call it Mickey Mouse. It's functionally there, but it's the lowest tier grade equipment that you can get. And so that's why earlier starting off, there's so much more value into buying a used hospital bed than there is going out and buying brand new lower grade home care stuff, which ballpark in many cases is going to be about the same price. So we do get access to some stuff that's kind of very high-end home care, and that a lot of that equipment will sell new. Primarily, that'll be air mattress systems that we can put on other bed frames. There's another bed frame um, right above my finger. That's a Stryker Secure 3. See if we can get over to that one a little bit there. And the Stryker Secure 3 is really a rock solid bed. That bed is probably one of our most reliable beds that we sell, meaning that it's just very simplistic. I can equip that with a gel foam mattress. What's on there right now, that mattress with the navy blue top, and you can just see a pinch of orange down in the corner, right about there. And that's a gel foam mattress. And the gel foam mattresses are super high quality and we can equip that. Now you could start with that and 6 months or a year or 2 years later say, we're going to get rid of the gel foam and we're going to put an air mattress on there. So you could do that. And then there's other bed models that are going to have a mattress system. The VersaCare is sort of a lower tiered Progressa, and it's going to have an air mattress system. It's a generation behind, so the prices on those are going to be less. And you can get a VersaCare with foam or air, but the air system on there, if you wanted to go with that, would be built in. So that would be another bed frame that you could go to. But ideally, the beds that we sell the most of are going to be the progressive beds, the Striker Secure 3. We're going to also sell a lot of VersaCare beds, which is also in here, but it's a little bit difficult to run around with the camera. So I'll kind of skip that. But you can go to the links in the website and you'll be able to see, some of these different versions of some of these different beds. And like I said, every single bed is going to be power up and down, power head, power foot. They're all going to do a chair position. The Progress is going to be the only bed where the feet can actually touch the floor, but all other beds will have a chair position, but you'll just have to get in and out off the side of the bed. So that's going to be the primary focus that you're going to have for those types of medical beds. Now, some of the other questions that we might get: does insurance provide these, or do they cover these beds? Insurance normally will provide some type of reimbursement. They do not provide any type of purchase normally with these types of beds. The insurance companies normally will, provide something that's in the lower tier that's probably not going to be what's going to be the ideal bed, but that's going to be something that once you get it, if it's not sufficient, or if you're going to need a higher quality bed, then you're going to go ahead and get that from from another provider, which would be somebody like us. Now, Rom and Stryker do not sell directly to the public. So the only places you're going to be able to get a Stryker or a Hill-Rom bed is going to be through a secondary provider, which would be a company like ours. And then we will pick up and deliver the beds and basically drop them off anywhere in the United States. So that's going to be one of the things that we will do that most companies, do not. I mean, most durable medical equipment companies really prefer to just sell the lower tiered beds because they come in parts and they weigh much less and they're very easy to put in a box and put on a shelf. These are 5 to 6, 700 pound steel frame beds that do not do that. And therefore, these are not going to be beds where you're going to be able to put them in a box. They're going to last a very long time. One of the questions we get asked a lot is, what is the age of the bed? The age of the bed really ultimately is not going to make a lot of difference if it's a well-made bed. So the VersaCare bed's a little older, but in all honesty, it's a lot better than some of the newer beds that are made, because the VersaCare bed, they put a lot of money into the development of the bed. They put a lot of money into the raw materials for the bed, and so therefore, even though it's an older bed, it's more reliable than a Care Assist. And a Care Assist is a newer bed. The progressive bed is obviously one of our most popular beds that we sell because it's had so much function. The older version of that bed is a Total Care Sport, and the Total Care Sport bed was made with a lot of hydraulics, and we don't sell that bed because it breaks down a lot, so there's just certain beds that I personally don't like. I know ahead of time that they're not going to be reliable, and so we prefer just not to sell them. And if you ask for them, we might have them in stock, but we would definitely tell you it's probably not going to be the best option. Now, sometimes hospitals contact us, and we do sell to hospitals, and they already have Care Assist beds in there. They're already familiar with how it works and what it does. So they're going to, already have service technicians in the hospital that can fix those beds. And therefore, it won't be an issue for them to get the bed, and if they want it, we'll sell it to them. But for home use and for hospital beds for home use, you really want to try to stick with the ones that are going to be the most reliable. So even though there's literally probably dozens, if not 100 or more different bed options, it's primarily going to break down normally into which beds are going to have foam, which beds are going to have air. Now we carry 2 or 3 really good air mattress systems. We deal a lot with hospitals. I personally have worked a lot in wound care and wound care treatment surfaces. So I have a lot of information and knowledge on what's needed to prevent bed sores, pressure wounds, how to prevent a bed sore, and number 2, how to fix one if you've already got one. And the number one thing to start with is going to be low air loss and pushing a lot of air over the surface of that mattress. And that's going to start keeping skin dry, but also it's going to start drying up the bed sore and the bed sore areas. Now, some of these beds, including the Progressa, the VersaCare bed with the P3200 mattress, or even some of these mattresses that we can put on a Secure 3, those are wound care treatment surfaces. Those are for paraplegic, quadriplegic, stroke, MS, ALS, people that are, severe disabilities. Those are primarily mattress systems that are there to prevent bed sores. But every day or every week, we're getting calls from people who already have bed sores. And so that's really what's most important now, is to get rid of that bed sore Bed sores are the number one reason that people get readmitted into a hospital after they've been admitted from a hospital. So making sure there's no skin breakdown is very important. And most insurance companies are not going to give you an air mattress. So even though you might need an air mattress system, you're not going to get one from a insurance company until you've already got skin breakdown. And although that makes absolutely no sense, this is the reason why so many people come into a secondary market and are looking for, high-end home care mattress surfaces because even though you're at home, you're still requiring hospital grade care. So, that's really what we're here for. We're not going to be the cheap. I just don't even want to sell the low price, low tiered stuff. I won't sell anything I won't sleep in, and something like that gel foam mattress on there, I've slept on those for as long as 6 months, through transition of moving and what have you, and it was just a very comfortable mattress. Brand new, that mattress is about $1,800, and you can see it has a real clean coat. It's a zipper top, it's very easy to clean, it's very easy to sterilize. So, and that mattress weighs with that gel foam about 45 pounds. It's bulky, it's heavy, but it's super high quality and it's really good for pressure redistribution and different things. So, with all that being said, we wanted to get online. We wanted to do a quick video, introduce USA MedBed, Hospital Direct Medical. Like I said, we've been doing this over 15 years. We sell beds every day all over the country, all over the world, and we primarily deal with high-end home care, hospital grade care for home, and we sell beds to nursing schools, hospitals, home care, long-term care, hospice. So we've got a lot of experience in the industry. We normally can adjust and find products that are going to fit various different price ranges. So we have different bed models for different situations based on what the person can afford. If you're looking for a medical bed or a hospital bed and you want more information, you can reach us, San Diego, California, 858-652-1259. You can reach us in Richmond, Virginia at 804-495-0770. And you can also go to our websites. We've got a couple websites. One is the number one, hospitalbeds.com. And I'll also put these in the description of the video. And then also Hospital Bed Shop. And we do sell some beds brand new. So if you really want a brand new bed, not a problem. We do have beds brand new. The other thing that we also sell are specialty beds. And those are normally going to be extra wide beds, which are referred to as bariatric beds. So the bariatric beds are extra wide, heavier weight capacity. We sell quite a few of those as well. So if you're looking for hospital bed, if you need a hospital bed for home use, give us a call, USA MedBed, Richmond, Virginia, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. I hope you like the videos. Go to our channel too, by the way, because just about every single bed that's in our showroom, I've done videos, complete walkthroughs, so you can see what the benefits are of the bed, what's the best bed for you, what it is that you need, what you don't need. So there's a lot of different options. There's probably a half a dozen or more beds here in the showroom that are various options. We've gone through just a handful today, but on the website and on the YouTube channel, you'll see complete walkthroughs for all of those. So we appreciate your time. Thanks for watching the channel. Don't feel free to leave us questions or email us with questions. We'll be more than happy to assist you. We appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.